very pleasant day to you and welcome to Top Stories on Ogama TV. First, we'll bring you the headlines. Federal government disburses 333 billion naira to Gencos to boost power sector. Enugu begins free farm inputs distribution to 63,000 farmers. CBN says lower naira notes remains legal tender. And on the foreign scene, Nicaraguan president ends national elections. On sports, Tebas calls for FIFA president's resignation. And on entertainment, Chidinma Adesina's deportation case adjourned to August the 19th. Bringing you the news is Chidiogo Asuke. Now the news in details. The federal government has announced the disbursement of approximately 333 billion naira to 8 electricity generation companies as part of its ongoing power sector debt resolution program. Government officials also unveiled a second bond issuance worth 729 billion naira to clear outstanding legacy debts and improve liquidity in the Nigerian electricity supply industry. Speaking at Investors Forum in Abuja, the special advisor to the president on oil and gas, Mrs. Olu Vejen, said the move demonstrates the administration's commitment to meeting its financial obligations and restoring investors' confidence. She disclosed that the government had earlier released 501 billion naira under the program's first tranche, comprising cash payments and bond instruments. According to her, the funds have enabled participating power generation companies to settle obligations to gas suppliers, lenders, and maintenance contractors while strengthening operational efficiency. The government says its initiative is expected to attract more private investment into Nigeria's electricity sector. And on states, Governor Peter Mba has flagged off the 2026 Agricultural Free Inputs Distribution Programs for 63,000 registered smallholders farmers across Enugu State. Speaking during the ceremony, the governor reaffirms his administration's commitment to transforming agriculture into a major driver of economic growth, with a target of building a $30 billion state economy, of which agriculture is expected to contribute about 40%. Governor Mba said the program is aimed at moving farmers from subsistence to commercial agriculture through the provision of fertilizers, improved seeds, cassava stems, agrochemicals, and mechanization support. He warned against the diversion or sale of the free farm inputs, stressing that all beneficiaries were selected through a verified database. The Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Patrick Ubro, said this year's program represents a 58% increase over last year's distribution, while over 84,000 farmers have now been diligently profiled to improved planning and support. And moving on to business, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Kadoso, has clarified that lower naira denominations, including 5 naira, 10 naira, 20 naira, 50 naira, and 100 naira notes, remains legal tender. Speaking after the Monetary Policy Committee meeting, Kadoso explained that the reduced circulation of the smaller denominations is largely due to market demands and supply rather than any decisions by the Apex Bank to withdraw them. The CBN boss also announced that the Monetary Policy Committee retained the benchmark interest rate at 26.5% for the second consecutive meetings following the country's latest inflation report. And on the foreign scene, Nicaraguan's President Daniel Ortega has declared that the country will no longer conduct elections, saying the move is necessary to prevent opposition groups from returning to power. Speaking during the celebration marking the anniversary of the Sandinista revolution, Ortega accused opposition groups of attempting to destabilize his government and said new laws will be introduced to strengthen his administration. The announcement has attracted widespread criticism from political analysts and human rights organizations who warned that the decision further weakens democracy in Nicaragua amid ongoing allegations of political repressions and human rights violations. We now go on a short break. When we return, we'll bring you sports and entertainment news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, you're listening to Top Stories on Ogama TV. Now to the rest of the news. On sports, La Liga president Javier Tebas has called on FIFA president Gianni Infantino to resign following the conclusion of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Tebas criticized FIFA's handling of the tournament, citing extended commercial breaks, controversial hydration intervals, and the handling of the Folarin Balogun disciplinary incident. He argued that football's interests were sacrificed for commercial gains and insisted that FIFA requires new leadership. His comments came after Spain defeated Argentina 1-0 in the World Cup finals to claim their second world title. On entertainment, former Miss Universe Nigeria Chidinma Adesina has expressed disappointment after her deportation case in South Africa was adjourned until August the 19th. Prosecutors insisted that Adesina is an undocumented foreign national and should remain in custody pending deportation. However, her legal team maintains that she was born in South Africa and that her citizenship dispute is already before the High Court. Reacting after the court session, Adesina posted on social media that although she feels exhausted, burnt out, and depressed, she remains determined not to give up. And just before we go, we bring you highlights of the stories on the bulletin so far. On The Nation, we brought to you that federal government has disbursed 333 billion naira to Gencos to boost power sector. And on states, Enugu begins free farm input distribution to 63,000 farmers. On business, you heard that CBN says lower naira notes remains legal tender. On the foreign scene, Nicaraguan president ends national elections. On sports, Tebas calls for FIFA president's resignation. And on entertainment, Chidinma Adesina's deportation case adjourned to August the 19th. And that's all on the news at this hour. For more updates and breaking news, don't forget to follow us on our socials on Facebook at Ogama TV, on Instagram at Ogama TV1, on X at Ogama TV, on YouTube at Ogama TV. Also visit our website at www.ogamatv.com. I am Chidiogo Asuke. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.
When you think of online TV and radio, broadcasting, media consultancy, event coverage, event management and planning, there's no better name than Ogama TV. But that's not all. We're also into photo studio and coverage, equipment rental, news blogging, fashion and pageantry. We are at number 5/21 Chime Avenue, beside Open Sheraton Restaurant, New Haven, Enugu. Follow us on our social media handles: Facebook at Ogama TV, Instagram at Ogama TV1, Twitter at Ogama TV, website www.ogamatv.com. You can also send us email at ogamatv@gmail.com. Ogama TV, your one-stop media solution.